Hey, good day, everyone. Uh, look, I got quite a hairdo here this morning. Looks something like that guy in one of those TV shows, might be on the History Channel, Ancient Aliens. So perhaps a little bit fitting. Ships is our title. I just put out a post, or I shared a post of footage of one of the ships, which you may look on the timeline if you missed it just before this video. I wish to say that the clarion call, if you will, was put out several times over the last year to bring your ships closer. And as you can see, it is so, and more can attest to it. So a very beautiful uh, a video close up of a ship, and as the lady said, it was only about a quarter of a mile away. Now, she calls it a Merkaba ship, whatever you feel to call them, yes, but they are your ships, and your connections to them and your ability to interdimensionally connect with them. And let me say that they can be many shapes and many sizes, and they also can shapeshift, let's say, into planes. They project, they can project holographic images and change their shape and just look like planes as well at times. But one way to distinguish if they're a plane or a ship, if you see a plane stopped in mid-air, well, that pretty well tells you they're a ship that's cloaked as a plane. But I don't need to get into that. Importance is the ships, your ships, you are successful in bringing them closer and keep bringing them closer. And for anyone watching this that is uh, anyone watching this that perhaps is on not too well informed on what's going on with the ships. These ships are very real. We're now able to allowed to capture more footage of them, and this is why you're seeing more footage and more shots, more camera shots of the ships appear on these timelines. Because as we go higher, there are higher things allowed, especially with the ships, and also, the importance and significance of the ships in your ascension and the connection to you and the overall ascension, what is occurring. So these are all benevolent ships. For those of you that are just tuning in, perhaps, there is no malevolent ships anymore interfering with anyone. They're all quarantined to, let's say, a 4D space. And these are our light ships. You can refer to them because we are of the light. So it's all happening, and this is further documentation and proof for anyone was skeptical, or anyone that is skeptical just joining in to what we speak of for the first time. You will begin to see more proofs of these, that we can capture them. One thing with these ships as well is that the general public um, may not always see them, and it's because the general public or the masses, until they're ready, they will not see them as well. So it's on an individual basis that ones are, let's say, allowed to see them. All of you that are pretty well, all of you that are watching here, yeah, we can see them and we know they're real and we interact with them. And so I am so pleased and grateful to, share uh, that video on my timeline just below this, but also to let you know that others have been having successes. I don't know if they publicly put it out, but just a few weeks ago, there was at least 2 that contacted me that had their ships the same as what you see in that video, that close or even closer, uh, with rays coming down, and the ships were doing certain work. So excellent. It's all happening as we keep going higher and higher, more fun and more magic happening. So we suggest to anyone that hasn't done it, keep bringing your ships closer, and you just do it by mentally and just from your heart. You want to bring them closer, you want to connect, and you open up from your heart up into your brain, that channel, and you send out your transmission, if you will, into the realms, and that begins it for you, for your ability to bring your ships closer and interact with them and see them, and all this cool stuff. And where are we going with this? Well, let's bring them in closer and wait and see what we'll be doing with them, perhaps later on. So, very, very significant again, and more of you will be able to have closer encounters with your ships in this now, but we don't stop at that. So, going forward. So, I wanted to touch base on that and the update that was just put out several hours ago. Very pertinent to for all of you to keep positive as well. It is your strength, and it keeps you connected to the higher realms, and to your ships and these sort of things as well. You can have stronger communications with your ships. It happens much quicker when you act and react in your most highest state. So that's so important as well. And yes, I have many ships and have interactions quite a bit with them when I wish. And I'm still just on a, let's say, a waiting mode here on the surface with all this. But again, it's all very real, as you can see.